This video is going to show you some of the most commonly used controls on the Cubase screen. First of all, we start with the transport panel, which is here. It's got various controls, most of them self-explanatory: start, stop, fast forward, rewind. And so on. I've also got a shortcut key, which is the space bar, which is start and stop. And so on. Here I have where it says click, it says off. I can turn a metronome on. So this is really useful when you do your own recording. You can hear that extra clicking metronome. If I turn it off, and I can use the shortcut C to open and close it. And then to turn it off, and so on. If I want to change the tempo, at the moment it's set to 130 beats per minute. I can change it to something much faster. And so on. Just change it back to the main tempo. And these controls can also be found up here as well on the toolbar. And the shorthand to open and close the transport panel is F2, the function key F2. So I click on that, I can close it, or I can bring it back onto the screen. The next controls are to do with the size of the screen. Down here in the corner I've got two resizing panels, so if I want to make those much bigger I can, and if I want to make them much wider I can do so as well. There's another really useful shortcut for this, which is if I click on the bars up here and I drag the cursor up or down, it will make it much bigger or much smaller. That's very useful for resizing. I've also got the scroll bar here where I can drag all the way back to the beginning as well. And the last bit in this section is just to look at these channels here. These are called the various channels. In this particular piece, this Cubase Blues, they've all been named. Snare, kick for the drums, the ride and the hi-hat, bass, piano, and so on and so on and so on. We've got two different types of tracks in this particular piece. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. You can see we've got these tracks here, which are MIDI tracks. Now, MIDI basically stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and what that simply means is these sounds have been generated artificially using synthesizers or other such devices. And then at the bottom we've got some audio files. These are WAV files, so we can see quite clearly the difference between how they look. This actually has the waveform in it. This is a live guitar part, and this is a live sax solo part as well. Also on these various controls we have M and S. M stands for mute and S stands for solo. So if I click on the solo button, we should just now hear the guitar riff. If I want to hear a bit of the lead organ, I've now got two parts playing. If I want to hear the piano as well, and so on. And we've also got various editing tools. They're up here, or if I right click I can select them here. So some of them are self-explanatory. This one is the eraser, so if I want to click on that and delete that guitar riff I can. Control Z is the shortcut for undo, so I can bring that back. Other things I could do, let's say I wanted to cut up this guitar riff. I could just choose where I wanted to cut it, for example, and then I could move the bit that I want onto a different track. Other tools we have here are the glue tool, so if I wanted to put that back I can select the glue tool and I can glue it all back together. The last really useful shortcut to learn is copying. So if I click on that particular guitar riff, all I need to do is press Ctrl and D, and then it'll copy it, and then it'll copy it again, and so on.